Welcome back to Expand Podcast with myself, Omar Alfaro, and co-host JP, where we're going to be discussing all things real estate, the good, the bad, the indifferent, and kind of what you need to do to kind of withstand the challenging market that we are facing across the board. If you're an investor, you're facing it. If you're a real estate agent, you're facing it. If you're a mortgage lender, you're facing it because the refinances are gone because of that interest rate hike. So we're going to be discussing all kinds of stuff, what we're doing to battle the challenges that we are all facing. So welcome back, and I appreciate you guys joining and listening in. Let's get to it. JP, what's happening? What's going on? And what's up?
It's good, man. A lot's been going on, I guess you could say. We have a lot of deals in the pipeline that we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of stuff that you've been working on.
Right.
A lot of students that you're taking on under your wing.
For sure.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel great. This is a different category. I've been doing this business for 20 years, as you know, 21 years now. And, I've established a good number of doors, and now I'm trying to help other people create their investing journey on obtaining homes, obtaining some apartment units, whatever the case is. And, it's just that time now to give back and let people know exactly how I did it. And in essence, cut the curve, because it took me a long time. I didn't have nobody really teaching me. I just did it. And imagine if you knew something that could probably get you to that financial freedom that you want to, that everybody talks about, maybe in 75% of the time or less than that, or half the time, or depends on how much you execute.
You always told me, if I came in this office when I was like 19, 20 years old.
Crazy,
you
right?
Always told me if you would have been in that room at 19, 20 years old, your trajectory would have been completely different.
Yeah.
So I do agree that locking arms, I guess you could say, with someone, or even having a mentor that's, levels ahead of you as far as knowledge, wisdom, experience goes,
right,
definitely eliminates the failure curve. One question I do have, though, is, because this is just like curiosity.
Right.
How do you go from, or what initial thought process is created when you go from just being a really high-level producer to now being a teacher?
It's funny. You could do both, but if you do both, you're not going to be all in on one. And as a producer, and you still receive, this is for everybody that's listening, this is when you represent buyers and you represent sellers at a high level. You have a team, you take a lot of listings, you create some income by your earned income, obviously by commissions, and then going into the education side of it as an educator, not necessarily a teacher, but more of like education. This is why it's buying, selling, investing, and educating, because it educates you, the consumer, how to obtain doors, how to create all this other stuff, and even how to get better at regular real estate sales, because there's a progression. You're not going to all of a sudden become an educator if you don't have the experience and the results to back it. I know too many people that have, 2 or 3 flips and they're all of a sudden a master of something. And I'm telling you guys now, I'm not a master of anything because I'm still always learning and evolving. And I've done 200 flips, and I've flipped a whole crap load of houses and represented a lot of buyers and sellers, but I'm still learning. But because of the reality of it and because of the experience, now I'm able to go down this other road and truly help people how to do it all. But it's a difficult challenge from producing at a high level to now becoming like an educator.
Yeah, and I think the reason I asked that is because the question that it naturally creates in my head is because you obviously have to have some type of care, passion for not just this business, for people to be able to do that. Because for someone like you that's successful, crap load of doors, you're flipping property, you have a great team in place. If you want, dude, you can essentially just take, the foot off the pedal, relax today, not really take on the responsibility of mentoring, educating, inspiring, and expanding all of these people's minds. My simple question to you is, generally, why are you doing this?
Dude, the passion, you said it, the purpose. And we talk about this in our meetings all the time. that if your motivation is there, it's going to be gone, because motivation shows up and then it leaves. But the purpose does not leave. The purpose stays there, pushes you through the bullshit that you go through, all the lack of motivation that you have on, like, damn, do I really want to do this again today? Do I really want to do this again? No. Like, that purpose will keep on pushing you there. And the purpose is to be able to allow and to help and to see people succeed. You bought a door. We helped another team member buy a freaking door when his mindset was completely changed, because I literally was pushing him.
He went from strictly being a listing agent to only having conversations as a listing professional.
He didn't know how to change it.
To being able to sit at a table with the seller and also be like, hey, I can help you this way. I can help you this way. And I can also help you this way. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I firsthand saw change right in front of me. So that is really cool.
And that's the purpose behind it. Like, imagine if everyone that is listening to this can get something out of it, to where it's like, maybe it's my turn now to buy a property versus just listing it. Or maybe it's my turn now to, like, try. If I'm in a 9-to-5, you can still go buy a property. You can still go wholesale one. You can still partner up with someone that has a team in place to help you through it all. So it's like you'll have the knowledge and the experience, like, going through a deal yourself. And imagine if you have, like, that person, the training wheels, in essence. My little 2-year-old is going through the process of learning how to ride a bike. But guess what happens? Like, she doesn't have training wheels yet, but she has a tricycle, right? So it's, pretty solid, and she's going through it. Now we can bring the 2 back tires in, and now it's kind of like, she has 2. So it's a process of it. And in order for her to become good at riding a bike, she has to practice, right? And the training wheels is in essence the person that's going to help you through your first flip, your first wholesale, your first JV. That means you and I will partner up on something, and then you create a profit based on my experience. That is the purpose of educating more people and understanding, like, hey, I can help you. I can definitely help you through the process.
The way I see you serving a purpose is like you're preventing people from walking across a bridge that is not even all the way built yet.
100%.
That's the way I see it. Touching on purpose, the way I like to always look at purpose is like, how many reasons do you have? I was having a conversation with someone last week, and they asked me, why I get up for the gym every single morning at 4 a.m. to try to get there at 5. Aren't you tired? Fuck yeah, I'm tired. Sorry, excuse my language. But I have enough reasons to get up every single morning to where me being tired doesn't matter.
See, that's awesome.
So let's touch more on that. Like, I know you want to help people and you want to go out.
I'm not up at 4 a.m., by the way.
No, that's all right. Everyone doesn't have to get up at 4 a.m. But one thing and this is something that I'm generally curious about, and I think more people will be curious about too. And the more they're aware of this, the more they'll be attracted to want you to be able to help them, educate them, inspire, and expand their minds, because ultimately your vibe attracts your tribe.
For sure.
Besides just like the passion of helping that one individual, overcome that limiting belief that I can buy a property, mm-hmm. there has to be more to it than just that, because you've helped hundreds of people, if you ask me.
For sure.
In your 20 years that you've worked, whether they worked in your brokerage, whether they fixed properties for you, mm-hmm. whether they just did mailers, mm-hmm. whether they just filmed your social media like I did.
Back in the day,
now
yeah.
I'm on a podcast with you, which is insane. So I think it's just like a huge itch of passion, I guess you could say, to take it to that next level, because you're already helping a ton of people.
Right.
But now you want to build a brand around,
impact more.
Yeah. Build, and also honestly build a brand around mm-hmm. what you're able to do for others. Right.
Right.
So let's touch on that, of what you see this, the expand real estate coaching, expand coaching being moving forward in the next 5 years, 10 years, because I always like to talk, 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road.
When you start looking at 5-10 years from now on something, it's like, create something now. Right.
Which you have.
And have like some type of vision for the next 5 years.
And let's unravel that vision a little bit, because I think people want to hear that. It inspires people, like, wow, he's talking about something that he's currently doing and he's figuring out in the moment. And you know how to do a lot of it. But as far as, you know, putting yourself out there now to be like, hey, I can help you get your next door. I can help you raise money. I can help you earn interest on your money. You know, going into that a little bit, what do you see that looking like in the next 5 years? What is the vision?
You know what? It's crazy you asked that, because I sit there and write stuff down on like, okay, what am I going to do?
Dude, you're always taking notes. I think you have like 20 notebooks of
I do.
Just insane amount of notes.
And what's crazy, let's talk about that real quick. I'm 20 years in and I still take notes.
And you're taking notes from people that are...
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, you're always taking notes from people. Like if I make a comment on a Zoom meeting that you're like, oh, wow, JP said something, that you're going to write it down. Doesn't matter who it comes from.
No, it does not.
If it has value, you will write it down.
100%.
So just wanted to point that out.
And the thing is like people that are 5 years in, 7 years in, had some quick success. Let's talk about the last 2 years of investors and realtors that had some crazy success, and all of a sudden they're fucking pros. Sorry, they're not. Like, if you're not writing notes in those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of your first starting of your career, then it's like, what are you doing? Like, other people can help you. And this is the part that's crazy, is that, and everybody says this, like, damn, O's always taking notes. I was like, I am, because it takes 1 or 2 nuggets, then it's the implementation, then the execution of something. Honestly, like when other people are saying, hey, oh, you need to teach people what you know already. You have a lot of doors, you've done it, and it's time for you to help others. And it's like, I never really thought about it because I want to give it away, right? Say, here, just do this, this, and this. But guess what? If it's free, everybody does not take the same, they won't take the same information because it's free.
100%.
Because it's on YouTube, right? Because it's everywhere. There's so much information everywhere. It's a fucking buffet line. And you literally got to go pick and choose. And I've said that before and so many times because it's the truth. If you're hungry, you're going to get what you want.
Information is a drug.
100% it is. But the information that you receive as a drug, it's there. But if you don't apply the fucking drug, then what?
Knowing which ones
Nothing.
to take and how much to take.
For sure.
There you go.
And that's the thing. And yes, clarifying, but it doesn't matter. You can have a bunch of freaking blows sitting there, and what happens? Like, you can do it or not.
We don't need to talk about that. But no,
it's fucking real.
No, true. Going into that, being able to know what information. Okay, so this steers the conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you know what information that you should be displaying to the given person in front of you? Like, for example, I'll play out a scenario. If, right, example, I'm your coaching client, right?
Okay.
You have a call with me, and you know this is my current position in my career. Like, are you getting to know your students on a personal level of what their financial goals are, of what their life currently looks like? So you're able to give them information based off of that.
Yes.
Because what I see happening so much is like every broker, investor, whatever you want to call them nowadays, entrepreneur, they put like this cookie cutter program together, and they're just like, here, go buy my course, not knowing that course is not going to work for every single person that bought it. So how are you, I guess you could say, taking the time to individualize the information that you're going to be giving to your students?
It's difficult because everybody's at a different pace. Okay.
Right.
Everyone's at a different pace. But if everybody has a foundation of what to do, then when they dissect it, then it's more like, okay, if I'm going to walk you through this part, like I'm not going to talk about investing if your earned income is X. Mm-hmm. If you're barely trying to understand how to write a contract for a listing or a purchase, our conversation about buying a house is too far away from what your grasp is. But if your grasp is, hey, I'm really needing to get better at listing side of things, cool. Well then, all right, so how are you qualifying? What's their when, where, and why? What's their motivation to sell the property? Do they have somewhere to go? So there's a process to this all, and it does require me to ask questions, because if I don't, then like, oh yeah, let's talk about buying a 10-unit apartment building. And then what? They're going to be like, wait, I just want to list a house. Yeah. Okay, well, this is the first part. I just want to list a house to create the earned income, and then this, that, and the other. So
there's like a screening process that goes into place that allows you to understand the foundation.
100% there is. And, we're starting today our 90-day real estate blitz, which is pretty freaking dope.
Today's the 15th.
Today's the 15th. Today's day one. And because of the, the demand of everybody wanting to learn this stuff and understand the whole investing side of it, we're not pushing it back to March 1st, but anyone that has already applied and has subscribed to this course, we're still starting today, but we're also opening it up for March 1st because there's been a demand and people's schedule and this, that, and the other. So I'm taking that into consideration as well. And we are starting our 90-day real estate investment blitz. Today is day one, but we're also starting it March 1st for the people that can't make it to today's call. So it's pretty cool. So it gives you guys the opportunity to DM me the word blitz on Instagram or click the link in my bio on Instagram, and it gives you all the information. But at the same time, schedule a call with me so we can discuss, that process moving forward to see if you even apply or if you can. You have to apply to be part of this because I can't help you get into a flip or into potentially making six figures in real estate investing if, as an example, you just got your license and all you want to do is learn how to sell a house or represent a buyer. There's a big difference there. But nonetheless, we got a program for you too. So that's cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that, how do you have your first call today with your students that you're mentoring, educating them on the business. Do you feel anything today?
Yeah. Super pumped up.
That's cool.
Excited, overwhelmed because I want to make sure I deliver so much more value than what the investment is, because I want them to be like, damn, this is tight. Yeah. And this is one thing about an investment, though. You'll never delete it from your brain. So you learn something, whether it's free or paid, it's your choice to apply what you've learned. So somebody in rooms that I paid a lot of money to be in taught me one thing, two things, three things that I've implemented it and made millions of dollars by doing so. But what's crazy is if I pay, I seem to want to be more involved in it because there's a cost. Mm-hmm. Everybody that's listening right now, if you go spend $2,000, $3,000 a month on leads, are you going to make the phone calls on the leads? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Why? Because it costs you something, right? But if you got 30 leads that were for free and you didn't pay anything for them,
you'd call all of them once and never.
That's it. You would never follow up again. No. But the reason why you follow up is because there was a pain associated with receiving those leads. So then it's now you need to squeeze the investment out of the leads, correct? Mm-hmm. Same thing. You want to squeeze the results out of the execution of what you've learned. And if you have it, it's game over.
Yeah. That's just, you kind of had this light bulb go off in my head when you talked about free information is constantly stored in our head, but it's a matter of if we decide to use it or not.
100%.
I'm going to give a really weird example, but I think it makes sense. So say you're scrolling through Instagram one day and you see what this specific person is doing on this day.
Okay.
And you just scroll past it. A couple of days later, you're having a conversation with the group and that person came up in your conversation. You'll automatically be like, oh yeah, they were doing this 3 days ago. Not knowing that you stored that information in your head.
Correct.
So how much, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like you subconsciously stored something in your head without knowing it was stored there, but when it was brought up by an external source, you were able to speak on it.
Correct.
So to wrap it up, I think there's a lot of information in our head already that we just need to extract and turn into application. I want to dive into our next real estate meetup because I'm pretty excited for it. I had a great time at our last one.
Yeah.
Do you have any details on it?
Actually, guys, we're just going to be probably going over what we went over the first meetup, but we're going to add more to it. Probably a little bit more in depth on truly getting the funds ready for your first investment property. You guys know how to do it, and if you don't, then keep following along, and then you'll end up hearing it. But I think it's really focusing on getting the relationship to give you the money so you can buy your first investment, and then that's the first step. Then the second step obviously is to fix it and flip it or put it back on the market. And then we forgot about the holding costs and stuff. So we're going to go over a lot of stuff in March, which is cool. So
End
it's
of March, right?
Middle end of March. Yeah.
Okay.
For our number 2, expand real estate mastermind meetup. You can put investment meetup there too. Doesn't matter, but it's truly an expand mastermind to expand your knowledge on how to invest in real estate and how to get better at the business that you're already in, if you're in it. And even if you're not, this is for anybody, because this is what we do. We help you through the process. I think
it would be cool because I know we touch a lot on investing, what to do with your money. You know, you touched a lot on taxes, flipping, things of that nature.
Baby steps.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool to divide, in a sense, our meetups to like 2 different segments, where the first segment could be strictly focusing on just increasing your sales, increasing your commissions, making a lot of money. Go into a little break where people mastermind for 20 minutes, talk to each other, sit back down, and now the next hour is just, now you've made a lot of money, what to do with it now.
Like, why are you working so hard to increase your sales, so then you can put it somewhere? And then the second part, that's not a bad idea, actually. It's not a bad idea.
Because one thing that I've noticed is, you know, when the market boom happened, a lot of people got licensed. I experienced that as well.
Craziness.
Had a ton of success. But luckily, with being surrounded, you know, by you and other individuals, I was able to actually build a real skill, capitalize it, and continue to, I guess you could say, thrive through the market.
Right.
I every day experience and see a lot of agents that came into the business 2020, 2021 that did like 5 or 6 transactions in 6 months, and now there's just like,
what happened?
No,
seriously, bro, it hit everybody.
You know, and I have,
expert or not,
you know, I have people from other brokerages that I'm not going to name, you know, DMing me on Instagram, texting me, asking me what we're doing and how we're continuing to, you know, talk to people, get in front of leads, get contracts signed, even with the market constantly shifting. Because I think the Fed just increased the rate again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want people to know that we are here to expand our team as well.
Right.
And they're welcome to join, you know, us as an office if they're willing to allow us to help them. What advice can we continue to push on anyone that came in the business in 2020, 2021, and now they're twiddling their thumbs, not knowing what to do because their broker gave them a desk and a phone and a phone book.
Start making some calls.
And told them to start making some calls.
Yeah.
Like, and the only reason
pick up the phone and start dialing.
Yeah, that's all. Like, literally pick up the phone. But
it's okay though. That's what we do.
We know there's so much more to it.
Right.
Because right now, you know, I'm working with 2 of our new agents, Alex Hernandez and Nick Gastelum, and we're doing weekly meetings. We're doing weekly huddles. We're doing role play training. And I, in a sense, took these people under my wing, but we don't see that anywhere else.
No.
Like that, it makes me sad, man. Like, how can we help?
You know what? It's, I guess if we focus on what other people are doing.
It's not really a focus.
It's not even I shouldn't say that. It's realizing what other people don't do and we do creates like a, dang, well, what are you doing over there? Like, of course, right? You want everybody to succeed. There's enough fucking pie out there for everybody, okay? There's a lot of success out there. It's like, it's not about like, oh shit, you did better than me or I did better than you. No. How about if we all do it together, because the fucking piece of the pie is ginormous, man.
You're never going to have 100% of market share.
Never have 100% of market share, not unless you're Amazon. And even Amazon doesn't, but still, nonetheless, all this stuff that you see is from Amazon, so there you go. But anyways, that whole process of like, you feel sad or you feel bad for the other people that are in different locations. This is the thing. They sell you on a fucking dream that does not exist. And they paint a picture of like, this is the best area, the best place to be. But what's it for? Is it just to be cool and you want to be in like the cool kids club? Or do you want to actually learn how to freaking sell real estate and invest and all the above? But guess what's not sexy? That is not sexy. It's that group type of feeling of like this or that, or like, hey, everyone's doing it. Let's go over here, because that's where the cool kids are. And in high school, did you want to hang out with all the cool kids or the nerds that are going to be fucking multimillionaires later? Everybody wants to hang out with all the cool kids, right? But what's crazy, the cool kids end up being broke later.
No,
not everybody. I hate, I don't want to say that shit.
I will second
but I'm
that.
telling you.
I will second that. I'm 24 years old. I graduated high school like 6 years ago, and I hate saying this. I think there was this quote on my teacher's wall. It's like, no one cares about how your hair looked, the glasses you wore, the shirt you had on,
nothing.
or the brand of your shoes. The only thing that's going to matter is what you learned and how you used it.
That's it.
So why this is going back to it, is like we'll wrap it up with
let's wrap it.
That topic with, if you're a new agent, you should not be learning how to fill out contracts if you don't know how to solve problems for your clients.
Done. We are in the people solving problem business.
Yeah.
The person that solves the most problems will end up winning.
Yeah,
It's not being cool and you have friends at a location and this, that, and the other. Nah,
yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
believe in
even
that
think
shit.
about like being cool. I think being cool. I think it like makes them feel good that like, oh, I'm like learning something and I'm like, I know how to fill out an RPA and like, oh, I can, go
fundamentals. Fundamentals are fine.
The true fundamentals are in getting in front of the people, solving their problems, addressing their concerns, building that relationship.
Right.
Once you tackle that, then you can learn how to fill out RPAs and RLAs.
Everything,
and all that other stuff. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit.
That's funny.
What else do you have?
Guys, I think in closing, if you are an agent that wants to, be surrounded not by like the hype, but by like true work and dedication and figuring out what you need to do, come see us.
If you want to be in the trenches with people that are
actually doing it,
doing business at all levels, not just flipping, not just investing, not just wholesaling, we're doing, in a sense,
like creating return on your money too. It's not just single-sided, but we can go on and on about this. But just saying, you guys are listening. I appreciate you guys all plugging in, listening to our podcast where we talk about all kinds of cool stuff and, stuff that might not, you may not like, but it's okay. You can just hit unsubscribe, no problem.
But you're not going to do that.
But you're not going to do that because they're freaking real.
Like and comment.
Yes.
Because it does help us out a lot. And we do take time away to be able to have these conversations and share it with everyone. So it would mean a lot. Like, comment, subscribe.
Comment, subscribe. Guys, and you guys will get more knowledge out of this for sure because it's real stuff that happens. And coming from, I'll call myself somewhat of an expert.
A veteran.
Yeah. And then
this is a
rookie.
veteran and the rookie combo.
So it's pretty cool to see both sides of it. And guess what? I wouldn't even be able to do this if it wasn't for real estate investing. That's another thing that you guys should really consider because the time it takes to do something like this would not be possible unless you have learned how to invest in real estate so you can, in essence, get your time back.
Yeah, because you got 20 years to talk about now. And I've been with you for almost like the past 5 now. I serve the role of being able to extract all that information out from you. So I think people love it, man. I love doing it. This
is going to be dope for sure. So, guys, appreciate you guys very much for listening in. And stay tuned for our next podcast, which is going to be even more fire. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Sweet.
Peace.